This is my 1996 Mercedes SL320. It's also known as the R129 platform. And I bought this car about 3 months ago with the goal of investing not so much money in order to have a vehicle that I can play with all summer. So I'll cut right to the chase, since most folks who are interested in this style and era of car are interested in, the dollars and cents, what it takes to buy one of these and bring it back to reliable, drivable condition. So I bought this car for $4,000. It has 120,000 miles on it. It did not run at the time, and it had some severe cosmetic issues. It took me around $7,000 more to fix everything and bring it to what it looks like today. So this is an $11,000 car. At least $11,000 is what I have into it. These are not very valuable. I think there's a lot of folks who are afraid of them. And also, Mercedes made so many of these cars that they're not rare. And if you are looking for one of these, they can be found pretty affordably and just about anywhere in the country. I live in Ohio, so any car we find in this area is already going to have less miles because we only have nice weather just a few months out of the year. Like today is a beautiful day, for example, but I think for the next 2 weeks we're going to get rain. Anyways, so $11,000 is what it takes for me to put this car together myself. Labor-wise, this is not a car anybody should buy if they have to hire a mechanic to do everything for them, because you could double that cost of $7,000 in parts if you had to pay someone to do everything, and then you're spending way more on a car than it's actually worth, and that's never fun. The whole deal with this car is, if you know what you're doing and you're interested in working on cars and learning about them, this car can be a lot of fun for not much money, and this is something I can enjoy for a while and then sell down the road and hopefully recoup my costs, if not make up a little bit more. Okay, let's talk in detail briefly about some of the costs associated with this project. And this is not an exhaustive list, but these are all the what I'll call bigger ticket items that took to put this car together. So you can see the total there, 11,000 some change is what I have into it, but you need to add a little bit more on for like consumables, like shop supplies and that, which I didn't keep track of. So in these R129s, they're relatively reliable if you find one that's already running. If you find one that's a basket case like what this one was, you just have to expect to spend more money on it. And that makes sense. If you find one that's already running great and just needs some cosmetic issues, you can, spend more money up front and then less money on parts and labor. But it's always a balancing act between trying to find a vehicle that's in good enough shape to work on yourself without breaking the bank. Things like the wheels. I figure if I was going to have one of these cars, I wanted to have a really nice set of wheels. The windshield, I wanted a new windshield that wasn't all beat up. I wanted to rebuild the wipers. Some things that really aren't necessary, but I think are what make a car like this stand out a little bit. Like the front bumper. These front bumpers are notorious with getting damaged. They almost always have cracks down at this bottom piece here. So I repaired this bumper. I actually paid someone to paint it for me. He did an excellent job. It's got European spec headlights and markers. That's an extra like $600 that is not necessary, but I think it looks nice. So these are all decisions you have to make, if you decide to build or work on one of these. I guess one thing I can say at this point in the video is, if you are looking at doing one of these, I did mention try to find one with a good soft top. The second thing I would look at are the quality of the interior plastics. this era of Mercedes is built really well. But anything built in the mid-90s, you know, the plastics technology was pretty incredible, but it wasn't perfect. And in a convertible, like right now, everything is getting baked, plastics become very brittle. And, you know, replacing a dash on one of these is really not something anybody wants to do. So that's out. If you find one with a hammered dash, just pass on it. But also take a look at all these small trim parts. So like this is really faded from the sun. It's kind of weather checked, but a new one is multiple hundreds of dollars. So I'm not going to put that money into it. The seats, these are original leather, and they're not perfect. But if I were to pull the trigger on a new seat, upholstery, that's another, you know, $500. So it's all about a balancing act. You know, where am I going to spend money to get my most bang for the buck in a car like this without breaking the bank? I've done a few other projects and I've put them on YouTube, and usually in the comments I get, you know, a lot of people asking, well, how much money did you put into it? You know, how much did it cost? Is it worth more now than it was when you first bought it? There's a lot of questions about monetary values of stuff. And I never took the time to go through it, so I decided on this vehicle here I would talk about that aspect of the hobby a little bit. So I'm not trying to scare anybody away from the R129 because it's awesome. It drives really, really nice. It is, I think, a sharp car. It's very, very 1990s, which to me I think is awesome. Because when this car was out, I was in middle school going into high school, and this was like the coolest car you could imagine. Now fast forward, most people look at this and say, why would you want a 1990s Mercedes? But for me, it's cool, and so that's why I like them.
Welcome to part 3. There are some good things and bad things about this. The bad thing is it smells like oil. From here.
It smells like oil from right there.
Yeah.
So what he is talking about is hydraulic fluid is in this top part of the windshield, and hydraulic fluid also goes through the top to operate the soft top. And sometimes this will leak inside, and it drips right there. So what he's talking about is that hydraulic oil. Okay, what else? What are some good things and bad things about it?
The good thing is it runs perfect.
Yeah.
The seat belts. Because this one, once you buckle it in.
Oh, yeah.
And then once you buckle it in, you can't pull it out anymore.
Yeah, so what he's talking about is on this car, and I'm not sure if it's something broke inside the seatbelt. When you attach the seatbelt to the buckle, I'm trying to do this with one hand, what happens is you can't pull any slack out of the seatbelt. It's always locked. So I'm not sure if it's something broke in here, but you can't, if it gets tight on you, there's nothing you could do except take the seatbelt back off. So good point. Yeah, that's not fun.
And I love it if it's so nice and clean. And I like the seatbelts. But I said a bad thing about it. I like the inside. The wheels aren't supposed to be squishy. And bad thing is this. I think that's supposed to be there, sir.
So that is the automatic antenna, and this is a new boot that goes over it, and the boot is an imported piece, not from Germany, and it doesn't fit great, but that's what she's talking about there. Good point.
What's another thing? Or you
The
have?
lights are shiny. They're shiny. Of course we're shiny.
How many times are you gonna talk about how shiny it is?
Is it going? Okay, so the soft top on these cars is special. It has 12 different hydraulic.
Shiny inside.
It has 12 different hydraulic cylinders, and it's all automatic. You push one button and the soft top goes up. So I'm going to start the car and then show you the proper operation of one of these soft tops.
We're gonna do one on the outside and one in the inside.
Okay, ready? I'm going to put the soft top up. Okay, and now we're going to put the soft top back down again.
And then we'll do it in the inside.
That's right. Ready?
Jeez, it's going fast. Here it is from the inside.
Okay, ready, Robbie? So this is the button for the top.
Uh-huh.
And you ready to watch it?
Yeah.
Here it goes.
Let's get this here out of the way.
All right, so that's it going on. And now do you want to see it coming back off again?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So this is the same switch. You just pull it back.
I want to do it.
Can you do it?
Hold it back the whole
Hold
entire
it back
time.
the whole time. Keep holding it, buddy.
Pretty much the same as the outside a little.
Oh, keep going. There we go.
And they're gone. There they are. Gotta go.